Okay, hello you guys. Welcome to the Fall 2020 ASUNM Senatorial Candidate Debate. I'm Nakia, and this is Adam, and we're going to be your moderators this evening. Tonight, each of you will have 45 seconds to give opening statements. After that, a question will be asked to one of you in a predetermined order. You will have 45 seconds to answer the question. Any other candidate that wants to answer the same question will use the raise hand feature and will be given 30 seconds to answer. All 5 of you will be asked a different question, and then the question will be opened up to any other candidate. Speaking time will be started when Adam says time starts now and will be ended when the timekeeper calls time. Speaking over your time limit will result in your microphone being muted. Are there any questions?
I'm sorry, I have something unrelated. Someone I know who's also running, their room hasn't opened yet, and they wanted me to ask y'all if you know anything about doing something about that.
Which room is it?
Group 4.
Group 4? Oh, okay.
I'll text and have that sorted out.
Yes, we'll get that figured out. Good question.
You can go ahead, Adam.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go a little off script here. Don't be too nervous. Tonight's a good night, just a chance to really display yourselves, not just to each other, but also to the entire student body. Sell them on why they should vote for you. You know, you can display a lot of passion, you can do a lot of things, but you just have to make that known tonight. And above all else, just make sure that you're having fun with this and you're getting an experience out of this. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. What we're gonna do first is you're actually getting a chance to do some opening statements. So the 45-second rule will apply for that, and we're gonna go ahead and go in an order. I'm gonna call on your name. We would like to not cut you off, so when your time's up, if you could just stop talking, that'd be cool, but we will if we have to. First person up on deck, and this is just your opening statement to everyone, Nathaniel Wurster, number 18 on the ballot. Your time starts.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Wurster. I am running with Emma Spots. Our platform is transparency, leadership, and connection. Our entire campaign is about connecting with students and creating positive relationships with people that create positive change on campus and showcasing student organizations and just having a great time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So next up, we are going to hear from Ian May, number 5 on the ballot. Your time starts now.
Thank you, moderators and fellow candidates. My name is Ian May. I'm running with Jay Charles and Jack Ambarian. Honestly, I would encourage you guys to check us out on @as.you.nm. We're running on a platform of reforming things in relation to safety, which includes stuff like UNMPD. We're also running on a platform of political engagement, so that includes ASUNM engagement, as well as hopefully local political engagement, trying to leverage ASUNM to try and get people more involved on a local level. And then finally, reallocation of funds, especially for things like COVID scholarships, but also making sure that ASUNM debt isn't taking money away from things like resource centers. I think that's very important. Also, the 3 people on our slate each have an individual advocacy lens. My advocacy lens relates to like climate justice. And thank you.
Sorry about that, but thank you for getting that in there. So the next person up is going to be Jacob Griego, number 7 on the ballot. Your time starts now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Griego, and I'm a sophomore studying business. Currently, I'm running by myself as United UNM. You can actually see our Instagram at united.unm.senate. My platform is unity through diversity because there's been a lot of hatred and a lot of issues that's going on between people, and we need to embrace our differences to be able to be successful. I'm also running on positive culture, which to me is open communication, because there's a lot of information that's not being put out to the students in the time of the pandemic, and we need access to that as soon as possible. The last part I'm running on is safety, because I often don't feel safe on campus, and it's time that that's fixed, because in order to learn, you have to feel safe. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for that. The next person we're going to hear from is Jared Gunn, number 10 on the ballot. Your time starts now. I'm going to pause his time real quick if we can pause it because he's not speaking.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jared Gunn.
So let's give it 1 second till he doesn't lag anymore. Jared, we'll go ahead and reset your time. Oh, it's not me lagging, right? Okay. Jared, what you might want to do too is if you can turn off your camera. It's kind of a rough thing to do, but that might help with like the bandwidth. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. We're going to go ahead and reset your 45 seconds. Your time will start now.
Cool. My name is Jared Gunn. I'm running alongside Harry Jem Harian, Andre Benitez, and Akif Naji under the slate elevate_UNM. You can check us out on Instagram. And I'm taking this opportunity to run for Senate because I've really based my career choice and what I want to do with my life around helping communities and helping people improve their lives. And I really just want to take this opportunity to run for ASUNM Senate and really put my money where my mouth is and just help the community here at UNM and make an impact towards making student lives better.
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. And then the last candidate we will hear from tonight is Daisy Guadián. And I apologize if I messed that up. Number 13 on the ballot. Your time starts now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daisy Guadián. I am a freshman studying biology. Today, I am here to talk about my campaign, which includes inclusivity, accountability, and representation. Inclusivity is making everybody feel seen, heard, and accepted. Accountability is to honor your duty as a person in power. And representation is equity within all groups, community awareness, and prioritization of needs. And I hope this race is fair and fun.
Awesome. Great job, y'all. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into questions. The way it's going to work is there's going to be 5 questions. Each of you will get a chance to, each of you will get posed one of these questions and you'll have 45 seconds to answer that question. After that time period, and sorry if I'm reiterating literally everything Nakia just said, but just so y'all understood, after that 45 seconds is up for the person who's answering that question, it's going to become open floor. So any of the other candidates have a chance to answer that question for about 30 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and go with the first question. The first question will be posed to Nathaniel. And the question you're going to have is, do you believe the amount of ASUNM senators should be increased from 20? Your time will start now.
Personally, I do not believe that the amount of ASUNM senators should be increased from 20. I think that's a good number. Larger bodies oftentimes become less manageable. 20 is a great amount to have to actually get work done. I think if we expand it, it would likely just take up more time and gridlock could become present.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nathaniel. It is now open to the floor. If you want to answer it, please make sure to use the hand raise function in the Zoom call. Also, don't film that like you have to answer. You're not obligated to. It's just a chance for you to chime in if you have anything you want to say about it. Cool. I'm going to take that as we are all good, which is all good. We're going to move on to the next person. So the next person up will be Ian May. And for you, Ian, your question is going to be, if elected into the Senate, what is the first thing that you would like to accomplish? Your time begins now.
Good question. I think that one of the first things I'd like to accomplish is actually a bill that I've currently already been authoring a little bit with Ryan Regalado. I don't know if it will actually make it to Senate specifically this semester. However, I've been working on a little bit of the resolution before I've been in Senate at all. It involves trying to get student fees, which are indirectly being invested in private prisons, from being invested in private prisons, because I think a lot of students aren't aware of where some of our student fees go indirectly. It's like through faculty pensions, so it's mostly just like us being more aware of it, I think. But trying to get something like that passed, and along with that, every week I would hopefully like to give an executive update of like what's going on that week. So that's also in line with that, one of the first things I would do.
Thank you so much, Ian. So again, if y'all would like to, you have the floor. Oh, we got a hand. Awesome. Jared, you're gonna go ahead and have a chance. You're gonna have 30 seconds to do your spin on this question. Your time will begin now.
Yeah, kind of, I thought that was a great idea, Ian. Thank you. And kind of going off that, like the first thing I would like to do if elected senator was to be increase the transparency about student fees in general. Like going off, I had no idea that my student fees were going towards anything related to that. And so I think there's a lot of questions about where our student fees are going to and why they're getting raised out of nowhere during a pandemic when student activities are dropping. And so I would love to just make sure that everyone is aware of what student fees are happening.
Awesome. Cool. So is there anyone else who, okay, we do have another hand. Jacob Griego, you're going to go ahead and give your chance to speak on this question. Please make sure to stick to the 30-second time limit, and your time will begin now.
I think that student fees are important and we should be know about it, but I also think that there's bigger issues we need to be tackling as a student group. And that starts with the racism that's all over campus and the other problems that we're dealing with that indirectly affect people's emotional health and also how they feel about coming to UNM in general.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jacob. And I think that looks like we're good for this question. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Cool, just making sure. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next person. So next person that we're going to hear from is Jacob Griego. So the question that you'll have 45 seconds to answer is, if elected to the Senate, would you support legislation to raise the student fee, and let me clarify on that one, the ASUNM student fee from $20 to make more money available for ASUNM and the student organizations that rely on its funding? Your time for this question will begin now.
That's a difficult question. The reason why is because right now we're in the middle of a pandemic. We can't do most of the things that we normally would be able to, such as silent lights and red rally. So as of now, no, I would not support it, but that doesn't mean in 2 semesters when we have a vaccine, I'm opposed to it, because I think that we should be able to continue giving students the opportunity to go out, have fun and live their college experience to the fullest.
Thank you very much, Jacob. It is now open floor for anyone who would like to discuss, and we do have a hand. Nathaniel, thank you for raising your hand. You will have 30 seconds to give your spin on this question. Your time will start now.
I would not be in favor of raising the fee. Rather than raise the fee, I would want to take measures to look into how to maximize what we can do with the current fee and make it as efficient and effective as possible. I think we should look at a lot of things before we increase the amount of any fee.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nathaniel. I didn't get a chance to see whose hand went up first for the next person. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do Daisy. So Jared, I still see your hand. You'll get your chance. Daisy, you have the floor. You can begin speaking about this question with your time starting now.
So I oppose the raise of the ASUNM fee simply because UNM is based on affordability, because we are one of the most affordable colleges or universities in the country. So no, raising the ASUNM fee would not be a very good idea, because like Nathaniel has said, we should look toward other things rather than looking at the ASUNM fee, just to simply maximize what we have already.
Awesome. Thank you, Daisy. So next on deck, we're going to have Jared. You get your chance to answer this question, 30 seconds, and your time will start now.
Thank you. Yeah, kind of going off what Daisy and Daniel said, I would not support an increase in the student fee. I think just last year they approved a raise in the student fees. And so we had an increase, and coming off the COVID pandemic, we have not seen any improvements or increased spending because of that. So before we do that, I would like to use the increase we already had and make sure we're effectively spending that money before I would ever vote to increase it anymore.
Awesome. Thank you, Jared. So next up is going to be, it's Ian. Ian, you have your chance to answer this question with your time starting now.
Thank you, moderator, and also you guys for being here. I think the student fee is super important to look at. Last year, I 100% supported raising the or not even raising the student fee, just changing it to be at a prorated rate, which actually did not end up passing because it needed the 2/3 majority, which is unfortunate a little bit, but also some people who are in my position taking 18 credit hours would actually be paying less under the prorated rate. So I do think not during a COVID year, I would never entertain, and my slate would never entertain a fee increase right now. However, I think it's important to look at for balancing the budget in the future.
Time.
Awesome, thank you so much. I see that Nathaniel's hand is up. Is it hand up from last time, or is it, did you want to speak again?
It's up from last time, I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. Even just to make it clear, just in case we run into this now, I think I'm only going to allow one response, one cycle of response. So you guys should make sure to get what you want to say within that first grouping, just so that we're staying fair and consistent. Unless I'm missing something, Nakia, and I need to do it different, if you're okay with that, we can do that.
That sounds good.
Cool. Well, everyone had a chance to ask this question, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question. And the next person to ask, or to get the next question, will be Jared. Jared is next. So, Jared, the question that you get 45 seconds to answer is, ASUNM senators often have opportunities to speak with President Stokes and other university officials. If elected to the Senate, what is the question you would like to ask President Stokes? Your time for this question will start now.
So a big thing that my slate has run under is just transparency and like taking suggestions from students. And so if I had the opportunity to speak in front of President Stokes, I would, first of all, like look at the questions we've been asked the most and like make sure that the students' voices are heard. But with that being said, I think the biggest issue people have been bringing up to us is that they don't know where our tuition money is going. They don't know why it's going up. And they just lack knowledge about why we're paying extra for having less activities, less instruction, and less student involvement in general. And so that is something I'd be super interested in learning about, and something I would like to hear from President Stokes as well. So, yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jared. So it is open to the floor now. I did see Jacob's hand go up first, so we're going to go ahead and go with you. Jacob, you have 30 seconds to answer this question. Your time will begin now.
So I too would be asking about the tuition increase because I don't understand it either, and I feel like many of my students don't, fellow students. But I also want to ask what she's done to keep NMPD in check after the TikTok that went viral. I mean, he wasn't even suspended for racism. And also what she's doing in regards to safety. There was a puddle of blood by the Daily Lobo office that wasn't cleaned up for 2 hours. And like, these are just situations that with safety that are not being addressed. And they need to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. All right. Nathaniel, you're up next. You have 30 seconds to give your take on this question. Feel free to go. Your time will start now.
I would ask President Stokes what her goal is or where she wants to see the university within the next few years, and then see if that aligns with what the student body wants to see in the university.
Nathaniel, were you able, go ahead and pause the time. Were you able to finish your thought?
I was.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Awesome. All right. Ian, your hand is up, so you get to go. Your time will begin now.
My first question for President Stokes wouldn't be what UNM is doing to try and address the situation with like the racist cop or the fact that there were snipers on the architecture building over the summer and the fact that she didn't condemn them. It would be why she's still continuing to support them and defend them, because when it came up last Wednesday in the ASUNM Senate meeting, she kind of made excuses for why the cop was rehired, and she kind of defended him in a certain sense. And like, it's as simple as just saying, hey, we don't support that. But I would ask her why she's continued to not even come out and do that.
Awesome. Thank you, Ian. Okay, Daisy, your 30 seconds will begin now.
The question that I would ask President Stokes would be, how would she increase the oh my goodness, the representability of the student body of UNM? Because I have seen that a lot of groups on UNM, especially those that are in favor of diversity, they don't get enough representation. So how is she in favor of showing up and representing these groups. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think everyone had a chance to answer that question. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward to our final question of the evening, who will be for Daisy. So you'll have 45 seconds to answer. If you could change one thing about UNM, what would it be and why? And your time will begin now.
One thing that I would change about UNM would be the fact that how I brought up from the last question is that, yes, we are a university built on diversity and multicultural organizations, but I still don't see enough representation, especially for women. There are a lot of there's still a lot of stigma behind, oh, like women in STEM, or there needs to be more representation for women and for groups on UNM that do not get enough representation. Thank you.
Thank you, Daisy. All right, y'all. Open to the floor. And I did see Jacob's hand. So Jacob, you have 30 seconds to go ahead and do your spin on this question. Your time will begin now.
There's one change that I really want to see on campus. It's that the students actually get to know what's going on. Part of my campaign is positive culture. There's so much information that we don't know in a time of needing to know that needs to come through, but also we need to learn how to accept everyone and make sure that the school is a safe place, both emotionally and physically for students.
Thank you, Jacob. There's two hands up and I didn't get to see who came first. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go with Ian first. Ian, you have 30 seconds to answer this question. Your time will begin now.
The first thing I would change about UNM from an ASUNM perspective is the fact that I was talking with a lot of people lately, and a lot of people don't even know what ASUNM is, which I think is really unfortunate. So I think that kind of comes from the political engagement point on our campaign, and the how that I think we would change that is A, leveraging the internet as a resource, so reaching out through things like Instagram. I think that's really important, but also B, trying to make sure that like we're doing more with our outreach hours, because I know that that's sort of not happening this year, so I think that's important.
All right, thank you very much. And Nathaniel, you will have 30 seconds to also answer this question. Your time will begin now.
UNM has a great number of opportunities through student organizations and clubs. However, I think a lot of those oftentimes fly under the radar. I would want to do everything I could to increase the visibility of those so that every student on campus feels like they could join something that they're passionate about and get involved.
Thank you so much, y'all. So this is going to kind of wrap up the portion of the questions and answers. We're going to go into our closing statements. I'll give you guys a little bit, like some time here now, just to start thinking about what your closing statements are going to be. But just in general, great job tonight, you guys. Make sure that you're continuing to reach out to everyone. This election is crucial for all of us as students, and so it's great to see that you're running. Make sure that we're pushing that positive culture to everyone. Hopefully this is enough time of me talking for you to at least have some thought process of what your closing statements are going to be, but we're going to go in order. So we're going to start off with Nathaniel. Nathaniel, you will have 45 seconds to give your closing statements. You may begin now.
It was great to hear everybody's opinions tonight and talk with you guys and also be able to speak about my campaign. Please go check out on Instagram at ConnectedUNM to see more about Emma and I's campaign and just learn a lot more about us there.
All right, thank you, Nathaniel. And I'll say your ballot numbers all again, but just for the recording, Nathaniel Wurster, number 18 on the ballot, and I apologize if I mispronounce any of your names. Next is we're going to speak to Ian May. You have 45 seconds to give your closing statements. Ian May, number 5 on the ballot. Your time will begin now.
Thank you, moderators, and you guys again for being here. I wanted to close on really quickly, briefly hitting on my advocacy lens a little bit more. I want to focus specifically on passing more things very similar to, I think it was Resolution 5F, the climate bill that passed very recently, trying to encourage UNM to take more action in that area. We each also have advocacy lenses on my slate. So Jade is focused on racial equality and Jack is focused on LGBTQ+ issues. So I'd encourage you guys to check out our Instagram at as.you.nm. We have a lot of cool stuff there. Also, I'd finally like to close on one of the things that we're super excited about hopefully doing is giving weekly updates like, hey, this is what we did last week and this is what we're looking at for this week, but also taking feedback through the Instagram format or other formats from individual participants. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, next we're going to hear from closing statements from Jacob Griego, number 7 on the ballot. You have 45 seconds and your time will begin now.
Hi, everyone. I definitely think that you should vote for me because I'm tired of the problems that we have on campus. We've had gone through how many presidents and how many senators, and none of them have changed. Being a triple minority student, I know what it's like to not always have your voice heard. I know what it's like to be stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in, and I think it's time that we end that. We also need access to that information. What's going to happen? Right now, we don't know what's going to happen, but we know that there's a plan and we need to get access to that. We also need to make sure to keep UNM safe for everyone, make sure everyone's mentally healthy, and I hope you all are staying safe and healthy right now. So check out my Instagram at united.unm.senate, and I hope you'll vote for me.
Thank you. Awesome. Next, we'll hear closing statements from Jared Gunn, number 10 on the ballot. Jared, your time will begin now.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to thank the moderators, Adam and Nakia, and thank you all, my fellow people I'm running against. It was an honor to be in here, and I'd be an honor to serve with you all in Senate. I truly hope we all make it. But yeah, I'm just excited for the opportunity to represent UNM students, to increase transparency, sustainability, and accessibility on campus. And that is something my whole slate supports. Please, again, go check us out at elevate_UNM. We'd love to hear your suggestions. We'd love for you to reach out. And we'd love to incorporate everything you guys have to say. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Jared. And finally, we'll hear closing statements from Daisy Guadian, number 13 on the ballot. I hope I said that right. 13 on the ballot. You have 45 seconds to answer this, and your time will begin now.
Thank you, Adam and Nakia, for moderating this debate, and thank you all fellow candidates. It was really exciting to see you here on my screen instead of in person. It was truly fun. All I want to say is that one thing that I didn't really touch upon within my answers throughout my responses, I would say, would be accountability. And I think accountability really focuses on honoring your part as a, let's say, student senator or a student as well. And so I think everybody should be held accountable for what they have done, and we should learn from mistakes. As Jacob had said, we should learn from our mistakes and we should push forward. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think we've reached the ending portion, so I believe Nakia is good to stop recording. Cool.